these two women, it was a fight. I mean, this was an absolute, bloody, brutal match, and something we were both just blown away by. Just incredibly proud to be a fan of both of these women. We feel like, we're small fish in a big pond, brother, but we feel like we put all of our chips on the table. We feel like Tony Khan we were begging Tony, put your chips on the table, go all in with these two women. And we really, honestly, you and I feel like our whole brand was built on this feud. We believe in this feud, and boy, oh boy, they did anything but flop. These two women were absolutely unbelievable, SPD. Let's dive into that main event, because there's no other way that we can. We need to talk about that, get that out of our system so that we can give other people some shine later on.
Oh
there's
my gosh.
nothing more exciting than this main event.
It was, it lived up to everything and then some. It was phenomenal. We have been supporters of these two stars for many, many months. And, since the beginning of both of them debuting on Dynamite, it lived up to everything. It gives me chills talking about it, because, it makes you, this is a feud and this is a match that makes you a proud wrestling fan and even more proud AEW fan. And they showed that they belong on the main event stage, and we've seen that. We've seen this feud, and we've preached it for months and months and months that they belong, absolutely, and they absolutely showed up. It was one of the more brutal matches we've seen any gender across the board in AEW.
Absolutely,
and man, they were leaving it all, and they were pushing the limits, and just right away, the Thunder's look. And I think I have a photo of it. Her look of determination and focus.
She was staring holes through. Right?
If I saw her, here I got a photo of it. If I saw her across the ring from me, I'd be like, I'm all set. See you later.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. So, do you think you want to go against someone looking at you like this? No chance, man. Thunder's focus and determination. As soon as you see that, she's dialed in. And a dialed in Thunder Rosa is one that's not going to lose, even with all the odds stacked against her. And clearly she showed that. And so this is where Thunder belongs. Britt Baker kept saying, you don't belong here. You don't belong here. And boy, did she ever prove her wrong tonight. She belongs in AEW. She belongs on the main stage. She is a main eventer. And so is Britt, but boy, oh boy, man. Whew.
She proved it with blood, brother. To see what these two women put themselves through, put each other through tonight. It was a testimony to two women who are incredibly passionate, who love professional wrestling. It was obvious. They poured their blood out for the fans tonight. It was an absolute show. Honestly, the way, like you said, SPD, with Thunder's with the determination and the fire that she had, you could see it in her eyes before she even got into the ring. You knew that Thunder was going to bring it, and she cut a lot of great promos. We featured them a lot, but that fire and that dedication to saying, like, I belong here. You've tried time and again to try to bully me out of this division and try to. Britt has been very vocal. She's the face of AEW's women's division. She sort of has staked claim. This is my division, and no one's going to change that. And I think some of that groundswell of support that we've seen. I've been very vocal in my love for the DMD. I think that she's absolutely clicking on all cylinders and has been for a long time. I honestly don't know I don't know how you can envision AEW without Britt. But that said, there was obviously some insecurity coming out between Britt and Thunder, and I think that they played off of that. And there was a reason why. Britt does not want to share the spotlight, and there's something about Thunder Rosa. As soon as she steps on the screen, you cannot take your eyes off of her. The way that she pushes the pace, the violence. Dude, let's get into the actual content of this match, man. There were multiple moments where I was, as a proud DMD mark, I was geeking out saying, like, Britt's bringing the pain, son. Like,
oh my gosh, it started off so strong too.
The curb stomps onto the steps, the curb stomps into the steel chair, bro. Like Britt was bringing it, dude, throwing her around. You could tell Britt and Rebel had a plan.
Yes.
That said, dude, when I saw Thunder do that drop kick into the ladder into Britt's face, I knew that the stakes were getting raised more and more. I mean, this was a next level display of brutality. The thumbtacks, really, I mean, her whole body was covered in thumbtacks at some point. It looked like her entire back was just covered in tacks. And then to put on the lockjaw in the tacks, brother, that was just the storytelling, the brutality, the violence. I don't know how you can't just look at this match and see these women checked every single box. Both of these women put on an absolute clinic tonight.
Yes, and the announcers said it great. And these aren't two women; these are two warriors doing battle. These two warriors absolutely just showed up, and both had their painful high points, but definitely Britt took the worst end of that. I think even just her suplex off the top rope into the chairs, they both got it bad. Obviously it was delivered on Thunder, but the final nail in the coffin, the table drop, from the curtain, and then obviously the drop kicks. I love Thunder Rosa's drop kicks, and let alone drop kick through the ladder to her face. And Britt might need some dental work on herself after that. But
I hope not.
As a true professional, I mean, we've seen it before, and you've talked about it time and time again, how Britt Baker, the face of the women's division, she risked it all. She proved it all. She is leading by example, and she is doing whatever she wants for what she loves. And the smirk to the camera with her bloody face was absolutely epic. Like, we've seen that before in different matches. Like, she'll smirk before her lockjaw, but man, like, her arsenal of offense, is matching Thunder's very well and clashing very well. Right away, the air raid crash on the stage was brutal, and I love the stomp. The stomp was executed so great onto the chair. Man, this was, like, they also said, the commentators, like, the hate between these two to go this extreme, to go this far, was absolutely just mind-blowing. And I mean, we don't even need to say they're elite because we know this match was just an absolute home run
without a question.
And oh my gosh, and just the build up to it, everything around it. I mean, it was purposely delayed for a reason, because the timing of this couldn't have been better in terms of putting them on the spotlight. Like Beach Break, yes, some things would have got overshined. That feud, we going back to it, we were so campaigning for it to be the main event, but it makes sense it wasn't, and I'm glad it wasn't, because you had more extension of this. Where you go from here, I don't ever want this feud to end.
Me neither.
I don't think it can end. Britt's going to say this is unsanctioned. There's not a loss on a record. Thunder belongs. I don't know if you have like a respect code where Britt will ultimately respect her and shake her hand for this.
I don't think so, buddy. I don't think so.
Hey, I was, sometimes you got to give respect and due to your competition,
Hey,
but
let's leave that to Brian Cage. All right. Britt's not going to go soft on us now. She's definitely not going to, after the blood that she spilled tonight. I have a feeling that this feud, oh my God, man.
I'll just leave that up for us there.
Right
on cue.
Bro, with the blood that was spilled tonight, we were, like you just said, brother, the build to this, it was getting personal and more personal and more personal, and just the cheap shots and the trash talk, whether it was on AEW television or on social media. I mean, Britt's hilarious on social. Thunder is incredibly passionate on social. Yeah. She doesn't back down from Britt at all. She has no problem talking trash right back to her. It's built. But did not, to me, even though this was like a blow off type of, it felt like it was just like epic. How does it get bigger than this? The only way it gets bigger than this is if you put a title on the line. And I think at some point you saw Sheeta throughout this match, watching this match. Obviously, Jade was watching it in the stand. Right. You saw Sheeta watching it. All eyes were on this match for a reason, bro. I think. To me, if I'm Tony Khan, which, man, what a life that would be, right? We could fantasy book all day, but they went all in. They know what they got here. This is gold, bro. I mean, this is absolute gold. And I think that there's no doubt about it. If you were to continue to elevate the stakes, add a title to this potential feud down the road, I don't think any fan is going to be disappointed by that, man. The feedback that we're getting, what we're seeing on social, the way you and I feel about it. And, again, you and I talk about this a lot, man. When you have – it's one thing to be just surprised and blown away by a match, without huge expectations. But when you have this buildup, I mean, and again, Sports Illustrated, Sporting News, Busted Open, newspapers galore, everybody was buzzing about this match. But you and I personally felt we had so much invested in this feud, and we really believed in this feud. And we and I spent a lot of time trying to push draw attention to the naysayers that say that the AEW's the women's division doesn't cut the mustard and all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, are you focusing on the right things? Because it feels like you're not, it feels like you're missing this absolute diamond. It blows me away what they were capable of tonight. So I think AEW needs to go all in on this. I think that they need to continue to milk this feud. I don't think any fan is going to be disappointed if they eventually add a title to the stipulation here long term. Before we get out of this, I also want to say, bro, thank you for recognizing that Britt has in her game, in her in-ring game, Britt gets a lot of criticism, right? For being a personality, but not being able to kind of go in the ring. Those people need to be quiet. I mean, I don't want to be like one of those people who just say, if you don't agree with me, then shut up. But honestly, you watch the growth and the maturation of her moveset. And as a fan of hers, just the power that she's been able to start to display. She was meeting Thunder blow for blow tonight. And that's a huge compliment, because I truly do agree with you, SPD. I don't know if I have seen a women's wrestler break onto the scene and immediately become one of my absolute favorites, like Thunder Rosa has done. I mean, immediately when we saw her, we were like, yeah, this woman is legit.
Got it all.
There was no growth curve with her or having to come around with Thunder, and so much of that is because of the pace that she pushes and the just brutality of her strikes. Yes. So SPD, I think that both these women absolutely dominated tonight. I think, Britt tends to shine a lot when it comes to, as you mentioned, looking in the camera, knowing how to play the audience, knowing how to perform and really build up a match, talk trash, always catching the fans and the eyes of the audience. Both of these women absolutely put on a show tonight, and it's going to be one of those matches that I think, we've said it a few times already this year, SPD, man, match of the year candidate. I don't know, man. I don't know how it gets bigger than that. These women, they delivered and then some.
I mean, you said it absolutely best, and we're doing things out of order today just because it is so important of a night, and we couldn't decide. Both women, this is the only photo I have of both of them face to face, are their top performers of the night. I mean,
first time ever.
They
first time ever for us.
Stole the show, brought the house down, set the bar, like you said, Brian. They set the bar moving forward for women's main events. And right now I don't see a clear feud that is main event worthy right now in the women's division. They have a very strong division, period. But this feud was the absolute home run feud of the women's division, and they delivered so much. And wow, I mean, Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker, top performers of the night by both SPD and Crayfish. Easily said and done. I mean, we could spend a whole hour.
I was tempted to just say, hey, bro, let's just have this a main event show. Let's just chat about how much we loved it.
Well, we're going to read this up on Friday Night Flights for sure.
And if you want to hear that, go back and watch our hype video. I was really proud of that. Every time I watched it, we were pushing it on social. It gave me goosebumps just hearing it, bro, because it's it was a story of Dynamite Download. It was the story of us as a group, and how we kind of mirrored that. Our growth has been all about this feud, man. We believe in this feud. We love this feud. This is the feud in wrestling to me. I watch everything, bro. I watch everything, and I I don't know how it gets better than this. Like the heel and face dynamic is perfectly executed. Everything about this, it's stars. We talk about it all the time. Iron sharpens iron.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have two equally incredible performers that are both just compelling at what they do, that's what professional wrestling is about. Playing off of our emotions, getting us engaged, getting us involved. We at Dynamite Download, we were split down the middle of who we were rooting for. We were torn, and that's what makes it fun, man. That's what pulls us back into when we were kids. This feud is what all feuds should strive to be. Period. And we read a lot of stuff, SPD, going into this week, but I feel like this feud had a lot of people buzzing